So, okay, final thoughts, I guess. We did it in 2 weeks. Holy crap. Final thoughts, Andrea?
It was really good, you know.
I like some of the changes that they made to it. I would have liked to have seen some kind of a revised City Hall, but I get why they didn't do that. I can get why a lot of people were disappointed because it is really short. I mean, if you consider, like, we spent 3 hours last week and then 3 hours here, so this is a 6-hour game. That is pretty that is pretty small. What I'm guessing the added benefit there is the multiplayer. And so you get the story of Nemesis, you get to see a whole new way to be able to do that. But I get why people were a tad disappointed because it was short. It was really short.
Well, yeah, but isn't this kind of like... Well, you're used to playing, like, if you were playing the first and the second, you can play the story with 2 different characters, but this one you're only playing as mostly Jill.
Jill and Carlos on one straight line.
Yeah, on one straight line, so it's like...
Yeah. But what I'm saying is that even one half of Resident Evil 2 is longer than this. Because I think the estimated amount of time was like 8 hours to beat one half of the game. If you went fast. So 8 hours to beat it. So at that point, this is less than that.
True.
And I don't know if I'd call that a complaint. Because the original 3 wasn't very long either. I would actually dare say we spent more recording sessions doing the original 2 than we did 3. So it kind of makes sense there. But this is the Raccoon City trilogy remade. So I'm going to go ahead and ask this question of you and the chat. Do we continue with the remakes? I think we should. Because frankly, I think you can go back to a lot of the games that were meant to be online and you can remake them into a story that we can follow. I think you can redo Code Veronica. I think that would actually be a really great idea considering some of the revelations that happen in that game. I don't know if I would do, like, go as far as Resident Evil 4, though. I don't think 4 needs a remake. 4 stands on its own still. 5 and 6, to some extent, they do too. But I'm glad that the original trilogy that got so many fans invested was remade. And that we were actually able to bring in a whole new slew of audience into that as well, you and Alex included. Yeah, I'm glad we played this. I'm glad that we played it. I'm glad that it came out. Nemesis was just as horrifying as I thought he was going to be when you brought him up to modern standard. But, well, Nemesis isn't the nastiest mother effer that this series of games has come up with. So it only makes me wonder, okay, there are some truly twisted things in some of those later games that specifically Code Veronica that I would like to see in this format. I would strongly urge Capcom to consider remaking Code Veronica. I think that would be a good idea. Andrea, what about you? Do you want to see more remakes?
Oh, yeah, you know.
I don't think that they need to do 4. 4 is too recent, but you could definitely...
I mean, what did 4 come on as? Like
4 was exclusive to the GameCube, believe it or not. That's one thing that a lot of people forget. You know, GameCube was such a kiddie console. The remake of 1, when it was made, was exclusive to the GameCube. Also, Resident Evil 0, which came out with it, was exclusive to the GameCube, and Resident Evil 4. It was only after a while that you started to see those games on PS2.
Well, if they're exclusive to the GameCube, how are we gonna get to them?
Because they've been remade and put into the PSN.
Okay, that's...
You know, we make the joke, the remake of the remake of the remake of the remake. The GameCube version, I'm saying when they originally came out, they were exclusive. Same thing with Code Veronica. Code Veronica was exclusive to the Sega Dreamcast And it came around at the time when the Dreamcast was pretty much dead. So they eventually did move it over to the PlayStation 2. We will be playing those games, by the way.
Well, yeah, because I'd be just like, you know, if they could, like, bring it up to, like, PS4, you know, run on that system, you know, even if it was, like, you know,
I wouldn't mind a Code Veronica remake, but I don't want them to go to 4. I instead want to see them do some of the side games that were also based in Raccoon City, just to see, like, some of the other stories that we missed. I was never able to play that online game because you had to play it online. So I would love to see them do the story of that. I've even heard somebody give an actually really good idea to remake the Survivor series, where it was lame when it came out on PlayStation, but now if you did something like that in PlayStation 4 or 5, and you had people like Jun Takeuchi who worked on this, I wouldn't mind a Survivor game to give us expanded universe stuff into that. What they did originally was crap, but they could easily do that again. I'd have no problem with it. But, I mean, in the meantime, we don't need to worry about it because we have Village coming very soon. So we get to extend the story. And I guess it was a good idea that I came up with a couple of spares to do for other streams. Now I'm glad I came up with it. So at that point, do I reveal what we're going to play? I kind of don't want to.
Well, I guess we could wait till after Parasite Eve.
No, I kind of don't want to wait until next Saturday.
Sure.
And you have to come here to find out. I'm a dick like that. I really am.
Drak is.
Yeah. So, thank you guys so much for joining us.